Where we're at right now is the Highlands up in northeastern California, Sáttítla Highlands National Monument. It's a very sacred place to Pit River, Modoc, and other tribes in the area that utilize many of these mountains and springs and places here.
I had just gotten to Stanford and I was thinking about what our docket might look like. And I got contacted by Floyd Buckskin, who unfortunately has now passed away. He was an elder in the Pit River tribe, and Michelle Berdchevsky, who was working for the tribe at the time. And the two of them said, can we come in and talk to you about a potential case we have? They came to Stanford, we met, they told me all about what was going on, and we eventually took up the matter for them.
We got wind of large-scale industrial polluting geothermal development being considered by the Forest Service and by BLM. The Ecology Center has a long-standing relationship with our local tribes. What makes the land sacred is the deep harmony that can still be felt here.
This drilling into the earth, if successful, it would go into the underground aquifer. It would potentially destroy this pure, clean water. It's a very valuable place. Now, science has proved that, but our elders already knew that this is a place that needs to be protected, not for the tribal people, but for all people. You don't hear our people say we own the land. We don't own it, but we say we belong to it, just like a mother and a child.
We are in the caldera of a giant volcano called Medicine Lake, part of Sáttítla Highlands National Monument, California's newest national monument.
We were involved some. The tribe really led the way on getting that national monument going. There's a lot of work that goes on in the background, working with the administration to convince them.
Caldera is a depression left in a volcano after a magma chamber collapses. This area is part of a major complex of faults that underlie this volcano, and from those faults have erupted hundreds of lava flows over hundreds of thousands of years.
In the 30-year history of this case, there have been many students who've worked on this case. Our students get to know our clients in a real way and care about their cases that they're working on. Our students took a field trip up to the Medicine Lake Highlands, and the students get to meet tribal members, members of the environmental organizations we've represented, and then work with them over the course of their full-time quarter, and if they come back as an advanced student, and really get a hands-on feel for what the clients care about and how to try to further their interest in the case.
Our clinics are all pro bono, any cases we take on. The clinics have this dual mission. Number one is to give the students an opportunity to engage in some hands-on lawyering, and the second is to provide pro bono legal services. Over the years, we had a number of victories, and as things went along, Calpine eventually held all of these leases. And Calpine was still interested in going forward with development. They had done some exploration, had not really quite identified a commercially viable resource up there. And then as the victories piled up, they decided maybe this isn't the best place to try to invest. They'd have to build new transmission lines through the roadless area, and expensive to do all that, and just wasn't clear that there was the resource there. So we started talking originally when Obama was president, but it really took that whole decade to get to a final settlement.
I'm just so thankful for the partnerships that we all created together in getting the Sáttítla Highlands National Monument. How can we work together to create a new system? We haven't been allowed to be at the table for solutions. That's the change that has happened. It's not complete, it's not perfect, but we've been able to be at some circles where we've been able to exercise our voice. We all agree this is a valuable piece of biodiversity up here. We all have the same values of protecting this place for our future generations.
There are next steps. When an area is declared a national monument, it comes from a presidential proclamation, and some of the directions are laid out in that proclamation. The one for Sáttítla is very focused on the tribe and the cultural values. There's supposed to be a committee of tribal interests brought together to help enhance co-stewardship in the name of protecting resources and cultural values out there. That's pretty special because a lot of the older national monuments are really about conserving natural resources. This one is too, but also about these cultural values, and having the tribes start to have a real say in how to manage this area I think is going to be really important. So there's a lot of work for the Pit River tribe and other tribes to do, but hopefully that will go forward.